Imagine you haven't seen your family in over 7 months, and then you finally see them. But the problem is, they are 1 kilometer away on the other side of a river, and you can't go any closer because COVID-19 has closed the border. Closed! This is exactly what's happening with families living between Singapore and Malaysia. You see, before COVID, many people crossed the borders to find job opportunities. They would go to work in Singapore in the day and return home to Malaysia at night. But when the pandemic hit, the borders got shut down. Not only to tourists, but also to these workers, who had no choice but to stay in Singapore for fear of losing their jobs. Which means for their families, parents and children, they haven't seen each other in person for months, separated by a very thin border. Even though they have the internet to keep them in touch, it is not the same. Some would miss out on weddings, birthdays, even the birth of their kid. But here's the good news, worthy of sharing. Last weekend, love finally crossed the border, or at least as close as it could get. All thanks to a campaign called Miss You My Love. Some Malaysians got the chance to get on a yacht, get as close as they could to the Singapore shore, and see their families from afar. They even used binoculars. Even though it was from hundreds of miles away, it was more than enough to make a grown man cry.
I'm not used to cry, but when not see them for so long, and today made me cry. See my daughter and my children and my wife.
And the great thing is, this campaign will continue to make more of these reunions possible. But this is only a temporary solution. Because the fact is, with the COVID situation having no end in sight, it could be many more months of painful separation. That's why both Singapore and Malaysia are working their best to finally bring families together, physically. In August, they have briefly opened the crossway linking the two countries for people who needed to come home. And just earlier this month, talks have begun to start opening their borders again.
By today I can go back. Yes, really happy, can see my family.
No one knows when the situation will go back to normal. So for now, most families will just have to be patient and be satisfied with seeing each other from hundreds of miles away.
Balik pun dekat Malaysia, sekarang ramai ada orang kena buang kerja, dah tak ada hasil pendapatan.
But one thing's for sure, when it comes to love, there is no border that can keep it away. And that's good news, worthy of sharing.